facilities and nice grandstands, and people like coming to tracks like that. And I think Mansfield is just going to get bigger and better.
What do you think the future is for sprint car racing in general?
Well, I think it's good. I wish we got to get the Outlaws back on TV like we used to back in the day. Had I think it was ESPN or whatever, but it'd be nice to get them back on TV more. That helps bring in the sponsors, and you got to have the sponsors to keep these going. But I think it looks good. I think it's going to get better. They got a lot of young, good drivers coming up, and so I definitely just think it's going to get better and better.
So you have any? Do you plan to go head back out to Knoxville this year? What kind of long hauls do you think you'll be making in 2019?
We're going to run Knoxville. We'll run Knoxville Nationals this year, and we're just going to run. We're picking and choosing this year. We won't be running any circuit, so we're going to have a lot of good weekends.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to seeing you this weekend in Wayne County. I know Jacob is going to be there, and then both of us will be at the Sprint Car World Championship next weekend. I did see where the Steel City Outlaws signed to come back and defend the crown, and did I hear a rumor that you might have helped him celebrate that last year after the race?
We celebrate, me and Shape, we celebrate after about every race we run together. So, he works out of my shop when he runs the All-Stars, and me and Shape, we have a lot of good times.
I'm going to say I have one more question for you, Jack. What's the science behind running that Magic Hod line? You have the low line, the middle line, the high line, and then the Hod line. How do you run that?
Well, you got to have a good handling car to run the cushion and feel good on the cushion. And, there's nights that you don't feel comfortable up there. You just don't run up there. But, when your car's working really good and you feel comfortable, that's where I like to be, on the high side.
That's definitely made a lot of fans up on that line, I think.
Absolutely. That's where we like to see it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fun.
Well, Jack, we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and like I said,
thank you so much.
Yep, we're looking forward to this week, and looking forward to getting back out there.
All right, thank you, have a great day.
All right, thanks a lot.
So how about that, ladies and gentlemen, for a first-time interview and a first-time podcast. That was quite an eventful afternoon for myself and Jacob. We were very happy and very appreciative to be able to talk to Jac Haudenschild and spend some time with him and get that interview. Before we let you go, Jacob wants to mention a small announcement that was made this afternoon after we got off that interview.
Right, so if we would have known just how much the King's Royal was going to pay this year while we were talking to Jack, we would have asked him about it, but an hour or two after we got off the phone with Jack, Eldora went to Twitter and they announced that the King's Royal is not going to pay $50,000 to win this year. They are going to step that up by a whole lot of money, over $100,000, and they are going to be paying $175,000 to win this year. They've been teasing it on Twitter. They started teasing it on Twitter Wednesday night, telling everyone to stay tuned, getting everyone's attention, and then this afternoon they went ahead and said, hey, yeah, it's going to be $175,000 to win. It is now the largest paying sprint car race to win in the world, overtaking the Knoxville Nationals, which pays $150,000 to win. I think it is super, super cool that Ohio now has two of the three highest paying sprint car races to win, being the King's Royal at $175,000 to win, and the Sprint Car World Championship at $100,000 to win.
So if one driver were to win two of those races, they could win over $250,000 in just two races. And if one driver were fortunate enough to win all three, just under $500,000.
Right, $425,000 someone could win if they do the easy task of winning Sprint Car World Championship, King's Royal, and that little Knoxville Nationals deal.
So, Jacob, do you want to mention some of the drivers that are going to kick off that effort to possibly win all of that money here next week on May 30th, 31st, and 1st at the Sprint Car World Championship?
So there are just a couple names you might recognize pre-registered for the Sprint Car World Championship. We got some of those porch sitters, PA Posse, coming over. We have the 69K of Lance Deweese and the whole Kreitz Racing crew. We have also coming from PA Ryan Smith and the Hessner Racing 72, Logan Wagner, and I'm sure I've heard rumors of Double D, Danny Dietrich is going to be coming over. I wouldn't be surprised if he does well. He had a really great run last year in the 48. We got some Knoxville regulars coming over in the 21 of Blackjack Brian Brown. He has a couple wins already this year over at Knoxville. And we have the Madman, Kerry Madsen, also coming over from Knoxville. Some other notable names that could potentially win all three if everything falls in line. We have the always entertaining Rico Abreu, Jac Haudenschild, who we interviewed today. You never know what he might quite do. We have the young gun, Buddy Kofoid, 17-year-old from California, racing with the Newmeisters. He's shown a lot of talent, a lot of potential early on this year, so you could be a dark horse for any of these races. PPM, Parker Price Miller, has had a solid start to the year. Aaron Reitzel, second place in last year's Sprint Car World Championship. He's fast anywhere he goes. He has an outlaw win this year, defending All-Star champion. You can never count him out wherever he goes. We have the veteran Joey Saldana. Again, he's always fast no matter where he goes. He's had some solid runs to start off the year locally. Another young gun, Gio Selzy, coming over from California. He's in the Indy Race Part 71. Again, another driver that just fast wherever he goes. Last year, he was able to beat both the Outlaws and the PA Posse at Williams Grove. So he can beat the best of the best wherever. Also, we have the defending Sprint Car World Champion, Tim Schaefer. And again, he's one of those, he can win anywhere he goes. So he's definitely going to be one to watch. He knows Mansfield like the back of his hand. And we have Slam and Sammy Swindell. He's had a good start to the year. He was looking really good at Jacksonville with the Outlaws before they got rained out. And then another notable name would be Greg Wilson, who really loves those dry, slick tracks. So if Greg makes a show for Saturday night, 100,000 show, and that track is nice, dry, and slick, no matter where he starts, he is automatically a contender for the big win.
And did you see the announcement today for the Swindell Speed Lab number 39?
I did. I really enjoyed that video, actually. Mr.
Hunter Schurenberg will be driving the 39 for the Sprint Car World Championship.
Seeing as Christopher Bell is tied up with his NASCAR's Xfinity Series there over in Pocono.
So we got a long list of notable names there for the Sprint Car World Championship. A lot of those drivers will be gunning to take their shot at all three of those big money races, and I can't wait to see if somebody picks up at least two of those. I would not be surprised if that happens, and that's an incredible amount of money to win for sprint car racing.
And like I said earlier, I am just glad that Ohio has two of those races. Right. I get to go watch drivers compete for $275,000 to win.
And we will be there over the next week. We're going to get out to Wayne County this weekend. We'll be out at the Sprint Car World Championship. We're going to be taking the microphone with us, and we're going to try to get some interviews with drivers at the track, possibly get out in the campground and see if we can't talk to some fans. We're going to go after Mr. Cody Summers, see if we can get him on recording and talk a little bit about the event this year. And then we'll bring that to you as much as we can next week, at least Thursday, Friday, and Saturday recaps. So ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate you tuning in to this first episode of the Ohio Dirt Track Podcast, and we look forward to coming to you next week. And until then, get out, get dirty, and support your local tracks.
Thank you, guys.